There's a version of this story where SB19 simply flies to Japan, performs at a festival, and flies home. That is not what happened this week. Before they ever stepped on a Summer Sonic stage, SB19 walked into a Tokyo TV studio and did something they had never done in their entire career. Welcome to Stage Wire. Today we're breaking down SB19's first ever Japanese television appearance, the wave of reactions it triggered, and why the next 48 hours in Japan might be the busiest stretch of their international year. Let's start with what actually happened. On Thursday, August 13th, at 10:25 a.m. Japan Standard Time, SB19 sat down as live guests on DayDay, a weekday morning talk and variety program on Nippon television. For a group that has performed on stages across the Philippines and the United States, this was a genuine first. It was their debut on Japanese TV, full stop. The timing was deliberate. SB19 landed this appearance one day before their Summer Sonic 2026 debut, meaning Japanese audiences got to meet the group before they ever heard them live at the festival. DayDay leaned into that introduction. The show prepared a video package walking viewers through SB19's biggest recent achievements, including their historic set at Lollapalooza just 2 weeks earlier. From there, the appearance turned playful. The hosts brought SB19 into one of the show's signature bits, a hammer-swinging game segment, and the group leaned all the way into it, laughing, reacting, and trading jokes with the hosts in real time. It's the kind of unscripted moment that tells you more about a group's personality than any interview answer could. At one point, after seeing how many watch parties had organized around the country just to catch the segment live, one of the hosts compared SB19's reception to boxing legend Manny Pacquiao, a name that instantly signals cross-generational, mainstream recognition in a way few comparisons could. Then came the reason most viewers were actually tuning in, a live performance of Lawless, SB19's newest single. It was the song's first time being performed on Japanese television, and it gave the studio audience and everyone watching from home a direct look at the same performance energy that had already gone viral out of Lollapalooza. Member Justin, speaking to the hosts afterward, kept it simple. He thanked DayDay for the opportunity and called it a genuinely meaningful experience for the group. The message to fans watching from Japan was just as direct. SB19 said they'd give their best on every stage this week and make sure the people supporting them had something to be proud of. Offstage, the group's own social media told the emotional side of the story. In a post shared after the taping, SB19 described the moment in almost disbelieving terms: a group that once had nothing but big dreams, now able to check being featured on national television in Japan off that list. It's a small line, but it captures something real about where this group started and how far this particular week has carried them. So why does one morning show segment matter this much? Because breaking into Japan isn't just about playing a festival. Japan is one of the largest music markets on Earth, and mainstream television exposure is one of the fastest ways for an international act to become a recognizable name rather than just a name on a lineup poster. A single TV segment can introduce an artist to households that a concert ticket never reaches: grandparents, casual viewers, people who would never buy a festival pass but who now know exactly who SB19 are. For SB19, DayDay wasn't a detour on the way to Summer Sonic. It was the opening move, the part of the strategy that turns festival attendees into long-term fans instead of one-time concertgoers. And it's part of a much longer run of momentum. Just weeks earlier, SB19 were in Los Angeles for the Grammy Museum's Global Spin Live on July 28th, followed almost immediately by a ceremonial first pitch at a Chicago White Sox game, and then their now famous Lollapalooza set on July 30th at the Allianz stage in Grant Park, a performance that made them the first homegrown Filipino act to play the festival. Reaction clips from that Chicago set are still circulating online, which means a portion of the Japanese audience discovering SB19 through DayDay this week may already recognize them from viral Lollapalooza footage. Fan reaction to the TV appearance moved just as fast. Clips of the Hammer game, the Lawless performance, and the group's post-show comments were being cut, translated, and shared within hours, not just by Otten in Japan, but by the wider international fanbase tracking every stop of this trip. For a fandom that has spent years watching all 5 members, Pablo, Josh, Stell, Ken and Justin, climb from local recognition in the Philippines to international festival lineups. A national Japanese broadcast lands as proof that the climb keeps going. It's a group whose catalog now includes hits like Gento, Dunka, Mappa, and Damn. And this week Japanese viewers got their introduction through the newest addition to that list, Lawless. Now here's what makes this week so packed. DayDay was only the opening act. Today, SB19 make their Summer Sonic 2026 debut at the massive stage in Osaka. Tomorrow, they head to Tokyo to perform at the Pacific Stage. 2 cities, 2 stages, 2 chances to turn a TV introduction into a live festival experience for tens of thousands of fans in the crowd. And the scale of this particular festival raises the stakes even further. Summer Sonic is marking its 25th anniversary in 2026, and organizers expanded the event from its usual 2 days into 3, spread across Osaka's Expo 70 Commemorative Park and Tokyo's Zozo Marine Stadium and Makuhari Mess. SB19 aren't the only P-pop act on that lineup. Either Binny is also confirmed to perform, giving Japanese festival crowds a rare back-to-back look at 2 of the Philippines' biggest groups on the same bill. That's not a small detail. It means this weekend isn't just an SB19 milestone, it's a moment for the wider P-pop movement stepping onto one of Asia's most watched festival stages. And the Japan trip doesn't end when the festival does on August 18th. SB19 will meet their Japanese supporters directly at the I Was There Thanksgiving Fanmeet in Yokohama, closing out a stretch that combines television, festival stages, and face-to-face fan interaction in a single week. That combination is not an accident. Television introduces an artist to people who have never heard of them. A festival stage lets those same people experience the music live, at scale. And a fan meet turns that experience into something personal. SB19 are doing all 3 back-to-back in one country in the span of days. That's not a promotional stop, that's a full-scale introduction to a new market. It also says something bigger about where P-pop is heading. Every time SB19 steps onto an international stage or a national broadcast, they're not just representing themselves, they're proving that a Filipino group can walk into one of the toughest music markets in the world and hold its own, personality and all. Japan could end up being remembered as the country where that case got made loudest. So here's the real takeaway from this week. It's not just that SB19 performed a song on TV. It's that in one appearance, they introduced themselves, showed their personalities, earned a comparison to a national icon, and set up their own festival debut all before most of their Japanese audience had ever seen them perform live. That's a lot of ground to cover in one segment, and SB19 covered it. With Osaka happening today and Tokyo tomorrow, the real test of full festival crowd is just getting started. What part of SB19's Japan debut caught your attention most? The TV appearance, the Manny Pacquiao comparison, or what's coming next at Summer Sonic? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to stay on top of every stop of SB19's international run, make sure you're subscribed here on StageWire with notifications turned on so you don't miss what happens next.